Hi everyone, this is Gail from Rainbow Food Rocks, and I'm here to show you what's on my counter. Let me pan over. Whoop. There you are. Can you see that I have a lot of different things on my counter? I want to go over how I food shop and my rotation. So I'm going to bring this a little closer for you. And you can see here I have some fresh bananas. These are almost ripe. And I have some ripened bananas. So I always like to buy some that are ripe and some that will ripen later on. So what I do is I pick out ones that are kind of like greenish yellow, and then I pick out the yellow ones. Now these I let sit out a little bit longer. These I'm going to freeze. So I have a Ziploc freezer bag. You can also use a glass Pyrex or some other glassware that's freezer safe. And I'm going to put the bananas inside here and put them in the freezer, and I can use them in certain recipes from my recipe book, Rainbow Food Rocks. By the way, that makes a really great holiday gift. Holidays are coming up. Some people that celebrate Thanksgiving, if they celebrate Christmas, if they celebrate other things, might be interested in my recipe book. And then you can make ice cream, like my peppermint ice cream out of this. So that's one thing. And I have a rotation here of other fruits, and so when I go grocery shopping, I buy things, some that I can use right away and some that will last a while. So for instance, like pumpkins. Pumpkins will last a while, and you can make a whole bunch of different things. I'm coming out with all these new pumpkin recipes for a future book, and so I have pumpkin pancakes, and I'm thinking about maybe making like a pumpkin waffle, a pumpkin soup. I have pumpkin chai bars, just lots of pumpkin ideas. So these will last a while. So I buy them, and I think in my mind, okay, I'll use those later on. I also have Kobocha Squash, and again, this lasts a while, and it's great for soup. There's a soup by Medical Medium that uses Kobocha Squash, and I make one that's kind of similar, and that will probably be in a future book. And then there's acorn squash, and this also lasts a while. So pretty much everything that's in my box is what will either need to ripen or will last a while. And then I have some pears, and if you ever notice when you go to the grocery store, the pears are really hard and they don't taste that great. So I always leave them out a little while until they soften up, and then they're really nice and juicy. I have a recipe that uses pears in my recipe book, Rainbow Food Rocks, and it has, I think, a choice of like pecans or walnuts, depends, like my kids like both. I can't remember which one I put in the recipe book. And then you can put cinnamon on top, you can add maple syrup, you can add honey. I know that my book is vegan compliant, but some people still that are vegans use honey. If you can't use honey, again, maple syrup. There's also coconut sugar as an option. And I have here some persimmons, or persimmons, I'm not sure how you pronounce those. And so I have the fuyu and the, I always forget the name of this one, I have to read it. I'm going to mispronounce this. Chia persimmon. And both of these, if you've ever tried a persimmon, I remember the first time I received one of these, and I didn't know how to eat it, and this was like 12 years ago, and I received a box of them from an Asian store. And I tried eating this while it was hard, and it was horrible, and it totally ruined my experience. So I highly suggest that you leave these out until they're so soft that they almost just pop in your hand. And then you can use these for raw desserts. You can just eat them straight as, and they're wonderful. So I have both kinds here. I use them for different desserts. And those, like I said, will take a while. So I bought them now, and we're in November, and I'll be airing this probably November 6th or 7th. So again, you want to wait. Like, I think that these probably won't be ready for me to eat because they are so hard until December. So just to reiterate, I have a box full of things that need to ripen still. And then on my counter, I have like an older apple. This is funny. I actually left it in my backpack. I always wear a backpack. And so this apple I'll probably use for my oatmeal recipe in my book. Again, that's Rainbow Food Rocks on Amazon. And if not, I'll cut it up and I'll use it for one of my pies. I have like an apple pie with a crumble. It's grain-free, it's gluten-free, it's everything free, just like everything else in my book. Not all my recipes are grain-free, but that one happens to be. So when you have things that are getting older, like this one, again, I found at the bottom of my backpack, my hiking backpack, you can use them in various ways. It's great with oatmeal. Okay, so then I also have pomegranates, and these pomegranates are ready, so I put these in the front of my box so that when my kids come over, they know, okay, these are ready to be eaten. This is an Asian pear. It was rock hard. Woo! I almost lost it. It was rock hard. I'm trying to wait for it to soften just a little bit because it's not as tasty. I mean, maybe some people like it that way, but usually we like things a little bit sweeter. And then I have my mangoes. I had the mangoes in the box, and I realized that these are really green, but they're actually getting squishy. So now they're going to be ready to eat. I actually had a mango this morning. It was really nice with breakfast. And I had I make my own hot cocoa, which is in the recipe book, but I actually had Mike Adams from the Health Ranger. I had his cocoa mojo with my mango for breakfast. That was hilarious. It was really good. Okay, so mangoes is another one that you can have ripen, and so you can buy these things and just know later on. And then I have other things that I'll eat right away, like the bananas. Sometimes I'll eat right away. Now this is kind of funny. I left this out to show you. Do you see how it's sprouting? So I'll be moving my videos, the ones that I put on private temporarily of my garden project. I'll be moving those over to Rainbow Healing and Wellness. So if you're not subscribed there, please go over and subscribe to there. And you'll get to see me plant these. I'll do a video and update you on my garden. It just dropped again in temperature here, and it went down to the 50s. And I think like a week to a week and a half ago, it dropped down to the 40s. And then it went back all the way up to almost 90. So the poor plants are going through some shock. Anyhow, now that this is sprouting, I'll put this in my potato box, and I already have some potatoes that were sprouting that I planted a few weeks ago, and those are starting to grow, so that's awesome. So that's what this is. But as you see here, I have some that aren't sprouting that I can then use in various recipes, which again are in my recipe book, Rainbow Food Rocks. And I have another acorn squash, a little bit older. I have my garlic. Now these avocados are still hard. I just bought these today. But what I do is I let them sit on the counter for like a day or two. I let them soften, and then I put them in the refrigerator so they last a little bit longer. So I have a bunch in the refrigerator. And I'm trying to think what else here is on my counter. So this is kind of how I plan ahead, and so that way I don't have to go to the grocery store. I do have apples that are in my refrigerator to make them last a little bit longer. I'll get a whole bunch of like Honeycrisp apples, for instance, and I'll put them in the bottom drawer, and I'll only take out like one or two at a time. Other things like lemons and oranges, I just store in the refrigerator, make them last longer. And I'm trying to think what other things I get that I eat right away. So pretty much I just go by the ripeness, but a lot of things in the grocery store, they're not fully ripe, so I can buy them in advance. I had purchased some cranberries last week, and I saw them to get eaten right away, and so I made this awesome cranberry sauce. So Thanksgiving's coming up, and I'll post that recipe, or I'll do it with you on here before Thanksgiving. I won't do it right now. But the cranberries with a few other ingredients that I came up with, oh my god, you could use it as a pie filling. It's so good, or you could just eat it as is if you want to just not have any extra carbs. So yummy. It has that tartness, but then it has this natural sweetness, and there's no sugar added. Really would be awesome for Thanksgiving for people. So I'll do a video on that. And behind here, normally I don't have this big box in my way, but I couldn't resist with all the squashes and everything. Behind here, let's see if I can move this over. I have a bunch of teas ready to go. So I don't know if you can see this. Let me bring this over to show you. Now can you see all those beautiful glass jars? So I was making a little goodie bag for my friend James, and I decided to put my teas in here, so I have mixtures of different things. So this one is a mixture of my base for my super energizing detox smoothie, which again is in my book, Rainbow Food Rocks, on Amazon. And so I just mixed it all together in advance. So when I'm making the smoothie, I can boil the water, I can have this sit. I actually have one in my refrigerator already waiting for the next batch of smoothie. And I have a bunch of other teas. I have lemon balm. This one actually is a mix. I can't take credit for this. This one is a mix from Medical Medium's book. And the interesting thing, if you haven't watched any of my content before, is Medical Medium and I are very similar, but there are some differences. And we do the wheat-free, dairy-free, corn-free, soy-free, egg-free, which is amazing because I didn't know of him when I went on this journey. And you can read about my journey at www.rainbowfoodrocks.com to learn about how I started doing this. But then when I found his material, I was like, wow. So this is a tea that I really enjoy from one of his books, and I'm not sponsored by him at all. I just wanted to say that he's similar to me, and if you like medical mediums content, you're gonna love what I'm doing because I'm making everything look like anything you'd have anywhere else. But I'm not using any refined sugars, I'm not using cane sugar, I'm not using any gums, no guar gum, no xanthan gum, and I'm really sticking to everything being super pure, organic, or better than organic, and I'm also mixing food grade essential oils with a lot of things. I'm doing it more and more. My recipe book, I only have a few recipes, but anyhow, I'll just move on. So I have some dandelion root and some licorice, both here. So this one's the licorice and this one's dandelion. They look really similar, but they smell different. Licorice is really great to kill things off, and dandelion's great for detoxifying. And then I have here some Powdarco, I might be mispronouncing that. And of course my nettle salt, I always have some in advance hanging around. I have 2 of these. So I just thought I would share my counter. And again, that nettle salt recipe is in my book, and I did a video on it, and like I said, I took a lot of things down, but I will be putting them back up really soon. I just took them down because I'm moving them all over, or at least most of the content over, and then some of the other content I'm gonna think about what I wanna do with. But if you're interested in any tips or anything about homeschooling, my garden, how to make tinctures, things that can help your body heal itself, or gosh, I have so many other topics. And if you're interested in things like maybe civil liberties and learning more about that, that will all be moved over to Rainbow Healing and Wellness. So again, please go check that channel out. If you're subscribed to me, I highly recommend it. And I will be on a few shows probably this week, and I'll be doing an interview for someone that's doing juice. And we will have the 11-11 meditation. So before you go, listen carefully, we have 2 things going on. So we have Masajati, he is doing an 11-11 a.m. Like meditation, meta-healing kind of class, and that's on 11-11, so November 11th. And then a group of us, a group of people that I'm associated with, like Green Greg Allison, and I'm trying to get Paul Cottrell on board, and Greg said he reached out to Rex Bear from Leak Project, and then I think I saw Elizabeth April's doing it too. We're all doing these 11-11 meditations, and they're going to be different for each time zone, so wherever you are, you might want to tune into that person, so it can be at 11-11 your time. And I know a lot of people were making comments about like, oh, well, you know, why don't you just pick one time zone, which some people are doing, and that's fine. But I encourage people to check out whichever time zone corresponds with where they live. I think that would be the most effective. And if you want to join all of them, by all means, the idea is to increase the vibration, increase the awareness, and help make change be the change that you want to see, as Rex Bear would say. And hopefully we can have the best outcome for everything in the world. If we all focus our intentions with all of our energy to have everything very positive, and I know that this is a tumultuous time, so I think that it's really great that we're all working together and we have all these great minds working together. I've reached out to Billy Carson and Matt LaCroix to see if they want to join too. I know they're really busy and they're working on a book, so I can't really say who definitely is joining other than definitely Green Greg's, and I will be doing it for sure. I don't know if I can go live on YouTube. I have to look into that because I might not have enough subscribers unless you can get me more subscribers. So I might have to do the live on Instagram or Facebook or both. I'm going to see how I'm going to work that out. So if you cannot find me on YouTube, I am going to be on Instagram as kajal.kaja378. So that's KAJAL.KAJA.378 on Instagram. So no matter what, I'll go live on Instagram because I know how to do that one. If I can't go live on YouTube, I'll tape it and then I'll just post it afterward. So hopefully that helps. And I think I have to have like 1,000. I don't know how many subscribers. I think maybe like 1,000 go live or something. I tried doing it on my phone and it said I didn't have enough subscribers. So we'll see. I'm also going to see if I can get a few other people on board. Maybe Farmer Jones, maybe Diamond from Avocados Project. We'll see. I'm going to reach out to a bunch of people because we need all of us like-minded people working together to increase the vibrations. Okay, if you like my content, please like, subscribe, share with like-minded people. Thank you for sticking around, and I will see you on the next episode.